Okay, so you've seen how we've created an interesting surface, right? And by creating those surfaces, what's really cool about that, oh, let me finish the mass, I'm sorry. So by creating these surfaces, we're able to create these areas and create interesting geometry. And that's usually the problem with students. They're stumped on how to create interesting geometry. So let's try and create another type of geometry by revolving something, okay? So how would we revolve something? Well, what I like to do, right, if I go over here and I say, let's do a new mass, massing in sight, and I can show in place mass, right? And I'm going to call this revolve. Whoops, sorry. Let me not shout at myself. Oh, I'm doing it again. There we go. All right. So in order to do this, what can I do here? Well, you're thinking in order to revolve something, in this instance, I'm going to use a reference line. Okay. And so a reference line, you're like, what's reference plane? What's reference line? Don't get them confused. And sometimes I'm guilty of using both words interchangeably, and they are not. Reference lines are not infinite. Reference planes are. Let me show you what I mean by that. The infiniteness. That's not a word, I'm sorry. The infinite planes. So if I go, right, to, let's go to the south elevation. And let's say that we want to show a work plane, right? Let's set it. And I'm going to set it to, let's see, the named plane. Oh, what happened to my work? Oh, I haven't set them. I'm glad this happened, people. I need you to see something. I don't want to lead you down the wrong path. Those individual reference planes I just set up only exist within this mass. So if I click that mass and say edit in place and I say show, I've got those reference planes in here. They don't exist in the new mass. And so you need to remember that. Don't go out and think, oh, those three reference planes, I created them. Why don't I see them? You don't see them because they are not in that specific mass. These are individual masses. So the reference planes that are in one are not going to be in another. And hopefully that makes sense. So those reference planes, right? Remember in there, I think we had Joel and Sarah, right? Those were our reference planes that we had in there. And if I wanted to set one, let's see. Let me set that reference plane. Let me go to the south elevation and see if I can set the reference plane in here. Yeah, see, Joel and Sarah exist in there. So I'm glad I ran into that mistake. That was a good, happy accident because I don't want you guys looking for reference planes where they don't exist, okay? So let's try this again. Let's go back to a 3D view and let's go to massing in sight, in place mass, and I'm going to call this revolve 1. All right. So in this particular instance, if I draw a reference line, I'm going to draw a reference line, and I'm on level 1 right now, which is okay. I'm going to say, I'm going to click here, and I want to make sure that I draw this as straight as possible. How would I draw this as straight as possible? Because this doesn't look straight. I want to pause the video and talk about something really quickly. Okay, everybody. So notice when I select that reference line, notice over here in the properties box, what does it say? Always check your properties box, people. See where it says is a reference line? What if I uncheck that and now say finish mass? Now, right, it's no longer a reference line, it's part of the geometry. Did you see that? Hopefully that makes sense. Let me undo that. So you can take away the idea that that is a reference line, right? But once I do it, I can put that back. And now it's a reference, and then I can say finish mass, and there's my mass. And now wherever I move this mass, right? See how I'm moving it? I can say edited place, and my reference line is still there. So let's go back in the video and do that in the video so you can see it. So I'm going to go back some steps. Oh, hold on, Sarah. I'll be with you right second. Let me get this recorded. I think it is recorded actually now. That's funny. So again, if I select all of this, again, create form, I get my form. And then if I click on this, I can take away it being a reference line and finish the mask. And then I can go to in place mask, edit in place. And I can also say, click here and bring back the reference line, right? So that I can continue to edit my form. And notice on my form, I can, right? Isn't that cool? I can open that up more and make that larger. And then I can come here with one of these surfaces, right? And then I can say, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, wait, now it's only partial because I'm what? I'm rotating the what? The Z. But look at the start angle and the end angle. If the start angle is 0, the end angle, can it be 360? No, that's not how it's seeing it, people. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful with what you adjust in here, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and stop the video and I'm going to take some questions, but you're seeing how powerful a tool this really is, especially, again, for design and massing out interesting shapes and even buildings. Because, again, what can I do to these surfaces? I can come on here and I can divide that surface, and now I can put a curtain wall in there. And this is a building, people. And so now we're getting organic. Or even if I didn't want to do that, I could come in here to my what? Tab, 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 1. Let's see if I can pick the other one. That's going to be tough. Hold on. Let me see if I can select that whole top. Ugh, that's the hard part sometimes. Well, I'll do one at a time. I can divide that surface, and then I can come over here and divide that surface. And now I've got a super cool place later on to do what? If I come in here now, can I select that and do what to it? What can I do now? Oh, can I create a curtain system by a face? You sure can. We're not going to do it today, but we are going to get into it. So you're going to see how now we can bring, in this organic shape, we can bring light into the top and let it shine down to the bottom. So anyway, I'll go ahead and stop this video. I'll take some questions and we'll keep moving on from there, okay?